Have you picked up your phone to respond to a message and suddenly realize you've spent more than 10 minutes on Instagram? Having a social media addiction is a condition that can be identified based on the convergence of several elements. Using the words of some psychologists, social media addiction is considered an excessive effort and commitment directed by the user towards digital platforms. It compromises social and interpersonal relationships, activities of any kind, well-being, and psychology. In a word, our daily life. The abuse of social media is often linked to another phenomenon, which is excessive smartphone use. The smartphone is, after all, the primary and most convenient access platform for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other popular digital platforms. As a result, many tips to overcome social media addiction also involve addressing smartphone usage. Resolving social media addiction is possible, but it requires commitment and patience. It's not something that can be changed overnight, but adopting actively positive behaviors can lead to a breakthrough. First of all, when are you addicted to social media? There are various warning signs. There are other symptoms of social media addiction, such as mood swings and irritability, anxiety, and depression. Other warning signs include lack of sleep. Many scientific studies have associated poor sleep quality with social media abuse, especially for those users who wake up at night to check messages received on these digital platforms. A first piece of advice to detox from social media is to disable notifications on your phone. If the screen lights up with every new notification, you'll unconsciously be tempted to take a scroll on social networks and check these platforms. Moreover, turning off smartphone notifications will increase concentration during study or work. If you really don't want to give up notifications, you can activate the Do Not Disturb mode on your smartphone, which allows you to reduce notifications without giving up on the ones you truly consider relevant. If you're working or studying, it's preferable to keep your smartphone away from the desk or your workstation. Just having it nearby could be an irresistible temptation. To combat social media addiction, you can also find tricks that involve detachment from the online world. Engaging in a sport or developing a hobby is not only an ideal solution, but also enjoyable. Spending time with others, taking long walks, doing manual work, or immersing yourself in reading a captivating book are among the most widespread and appreciated hobbies. It's also important to avoid using your smartphone before bedtime and when in the company of other people, such as at a bar or at a table with friends and family. At night, it's impossible to set the airplane mode to avoid notifications, while at lunch or dinner, focus on the people with you by putting the phone in your pocket. As mentioned, social media addiction is combated with daily commitment, as it is not something that can be resolved overnight. In this sense, setting daily goals can be helpful, using technological tools such as smartphones. Setting a timer with a maximum time limit for social media use, starting with a certain duration and gradually reducing it, can be an effective strategy. But above all, challenge yourself. Just want it. Harmful impacts of social media addiction. Social media addiction has a series of negative consequences in our personal and professional sphere. 1. Decreased productivity. Social media represents a significant distraction in our daily lives, infiltrating every aspect of our lives and interrupting the flow of activities, resulting in a progressive decrease in productivity. As social media use increases, focus on work and personal life gradually diminishes. Disruption of personal life. Excessive presence on social media makes it challenging to interact with people in our daily lives. It often happens that families living together communicate through messaging apps or other social platforms while being in different environments, limiting verbal and face-to-face communication and creating distances that increase the risk of misunderstandings in relationships. 3. Detriment to mental health. Excessive use of social media can isolate individuals from family and society, generating feelings of loneliness and contributing to an increase in anxiety and depression. Social media provides a colorful view of real life, where everything seems to shine. Inadvertently, we may start comparing our lives, disturbing our mental peace. 4. Sleep problems. Social media addiction is a complex challenge to address, similar to substance use. Limiting time spent on social media is not an easy task, and individuals are often inclined to dedicate more time to these platforms even when it is time to rest. Related reads: Smartphone addiction, how to break free from nomophobia. How to overcome social media addiction. Overcoming social media addiction is a challenging process that requires strong determination. While difficult, it is not impossible. With a firm will to improve the quality of one's life, it is possible to overcome social media addiction. Some suggestions to overcome this addiction include: 1. Set time limits for social media app usage. Analyze the time spent on these platforms using the tools integrated into your smartphone. Set easily achievable time limits, and gradually reduce usage over time. 2. Engage in enjoyable activities. Directing your time towards activities you love, rather than wasting it on social media, can facilitate overcoming addiction. 3. Stop updating. Most life events are often shared on social media through status updates, stories, and posts. Limiting or eliminating such updates can reduce time spent on social platforms. 4. Deactivate accounts. The ability to deactivate and reactivate social accounts allows taking a break from social media. Deactivating the most used account for a few days can lead to increased focus on real-life activities. 5. Uninstall apps. Easy access to social media through apps contributes to addiction. Uninstalling apps from mobile devices can be a crucial step in reducing time spent on social media. Now let's move on to the best apps to overcome social media addiction. But first, if you find the video content interesting, please support the channel by subscribing. 1. Freedom. Freemium app to block distractions, websites, and apps. Syncs data across different devices. Platforms: Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, Chrome OS. 2. Your Hour. Phone usage tracking and control app. Allows setting usage limits and receiving notifications. Platform: Android. 3. Digital Detox. Monitors usage time and provides reports. Platform: Android. 4. Antisocial. Reports phone usage, time spent on apps, and provides a usage score. Platform: Android. 5. Help Me Focus. Blocks distractions and apps, allowing setting active modes with predefined schedules. Platform: Android. 6. Unplug. Unique app with a physical tag to control app usage. Requires NFC support. Platforms: Android, iOS. 7. Lock Me Out. Blocks apps and websites to counter smartphone addiction. Platform: Android. Stay Free. Blocks apps and websites to increase productivity. Platform: Android, iOS. Now let's see the warning signs of possible addiction. There are some signs that may indicate suffering from social media addiction. Among the most common, we can highlight the following. Negative outcomes at work or in studies. Excessive use of social media can affect our attention span, worsening results in our work or studies. Increased use during other activities. A sign that could indicate social media addiction is excessive use during conversations or recreational activities with friends or family. Using social media as a coping mechanism. People suffering from social media addiction may use it as a way to cope with their personal problems. Nervousness. If you experience restlessness or irritability when you don't have access to social media, this could be a sign of potential addiction. Overthinking social media. If you think a lot about social media even when you're not using it, this could be a clear sign of addiction. These are some signs that could indicate you are suffering from social media addiction. If you believe you are struggling with social media addiction, it is important to consider the following. Here are some useful strategies that could help you. Remove social media from your phone. This will help you stop being so aware of social media. Plus, whenever you need it, you can access it through your computer. Turn off your phone. It is recommended to try turning off your phone during times that require concentration, such as at work, during school or university, or during recreational activities. Allocate limited time for social media. It can be very helpful to limit your time on social media by trying to reserve only specific moments during the day. Don't neglect your relationships. Many people addicted to social media may end up neglecting their relationships due to excessive use of networks. In this case, it is important to prioritize connections and set aside networks. Start therapy. If you believe that social media addiction is affecting you in many aspects, it would be advisable to consult a mental health professional who will help you identify the causes of this addiction and provide tools to address the problem. If you find the video content valuable, I ask you to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment to support me in creating more useful videos for you. See you soon.